Hello, welcome to my monthly report on the electrical systems at our property in Huntingdonshire in England, and this one is for July 2022. Here's a reminder of the major components which currently make up the system. More details of each of the bits and pieces can be found in the description below the video. Here's the first graph, which shows the electrical energy coming in each day from the two solar arrays and from the grid. The total solar production this month was 866 units, a daily average of 27.9 units, just a small reduction from the June figure. 35 grid units were imported in total, 4 at normal rate and 31 at our Economy 7 low rate. That's the smallest monthly grid pull we've ever had, and it could have been much less. The bulk of the grid energy was put into the car in the early hours of the 23rd, with small amounts going into the house on the previous two nights when the Powerwall got down to the minimum percentage I'd set when it started to get cloudy towards the end of the month. 74.1 units were exported to the grid, which was 8.2% of the total electrical energy coming in and 8.6% of the solar energy produced. As usual, the larger chunks of this export was when the car was away from the property. The solar contribution to the month's electricity input was just over 96%. This second graph shows the origin of the electrical energy consumed by the property and the car. The figures behind this graph are mostly supplied by the Tesla app, with the car's home charging figures coming from the My Energy app. 63.4% of the energy came directly from solar, and a further 32.9% was solar coming to the property via the Powerwall, giving a total solar contribution to the energy used of 96.3%. About 228 of the solar units went into the car via the zappi charger in a month when the 567 miles driven cost 0.31 pennies per mile, thanks to that 18-unit overnight charge from the grid, which later proved to have been an unnecessary expense. But it was only £1.79, around the current cost of 1 litre of petrol. This graph shows the energy going into and coming out of the Powerwall each day, as reported by the Tesla app. Only 87.5% of the energy that went in during the month came back out, lower than previous months, but caused by the large pull from the Powerwall on the final day of last month, which led to a higher than usual figure for June, as I mentioned in my last report. This is the self-power graph, based on figures from the Tesla app, which reported that the proportion of self-power was around 97%, with just a tiny contribution through the Powerwall from the grid. This graph shows the solar southwest production over the years since 2012. This was the fourth best July out of the 11 years, with 499 units being produced by the array. July's arithmetic mean is now 493.1 units, slightly above June's mean, and the median is 484, slightly below June's median. The cumulative year-to-date graph shows that 2022 has stayed in third position out of the 11 years, just 12 units behind 2015 and 53 units behind 2020. And here's a graph showing the daily output of the two solar arrays for the past 365 days. The 28-day moving average lines for both arrays remain above where they were a year ago, despite the cloudy period at the end of the month, which affected the southwest array more than the southeast. Here is the distribution of the energy input for the past 365 days, and this shows the daily solar production for that same period. The final graph is the summary of our grid electricity usage since we moved here in the summer of 2011. The grey and red lines show the number of grid units used each month, as measured on the left-hand scale. The monthly electricity bill is shown by the yellow line and the right-hand scale, and the green line shows the monthly contribution to the feed-in tariff payments which we get for the old southwest array's production. £11.41 is the lowest monthly bill we've ever had at this property, with £7.62 being payment of the daily standing charge. The quarterly FIT payment for the southwest array production in May, June and July will be the biggest so far, even though none of the months was individually outstanding. That's all for this month. I'll leave you with the Tesla app's energy graphs for each day of July, and I hope to see you again in a month's time.